Hi, welcome to another Jen Stampin' for Fun Watch It Wednesday video. I wanted to do a quick video to show you a card that I designed using some of the new designer series paper in the holiday catalog. I'm going to use this paper here. I've got little bits and pieces of it all over the place. And it is very colorful and interesting is what I thought when I first saw this package of paper. I have to be totally honest, it did not totally float my boat. Oh, hang on, I wanted to show you the backs of some of them. I just thought, okay, that's interesting. Oh, actually, this one's really nice. This is probably my favorite one in the whole pack. But then, as is often the case, something that doesn't excite me in the beginning excites me greatly later, and I'll tell you why. First of all, let me tell you the name of it. And you know, in case you didn't know, on the back of all the designer series papers, it not only has the name, but it lists all the coordinating colors. So I'm using the Christmas Around the World designer series paper, and the reason why we want to showcase this now is because you can buy 3 and get 1 free. Not just of this paper, you can actually mix and match of a variety that are available right now only until the end of October. But I thought I would play with this one because I want to show you a few things about it that I did not know at first. I'm sure they told us, but it must have skipped my attention. So let's get started. I'm going to use as my base just a piece of basic black cardstock. This is the 8.5 by 11 cardstock cut at 4 1/4, and then I will score it at 5 1/2. And that will be our card base. Okay, sorry, I know that's a bit off the screen there. And then what we'll do is we'll cut a piece of real red cardstock, and that'll be our layer on top. I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4 by 5. So there we go. 3 1/4 by 5. And we are going to just give it some texture by running it through the Bake Shop. And I'm using the Holly embossing folder, which is perfect for the season. Maybe I'll move this more in the middle so you can see what's going on. And so when we're embossing, I'm just using the Big Shot platform. Put a cutting pad on top, use the Holly embossing folder, pop that right inside. Looks pretty straight. And then we'll place another cutting pad on top. Okay, so we'll run that through. That'll be our layer on top just to give it a splash of color and some texture. The embossing folders are fantastic for giving texture. Look at that. I love embossing folders. Okay, so let me move Mr. Big Shot away. Actually, no, I'm going to keep Mr. Big Shot here while he's here, and I'm going to switch to the magnetic platform. And this is what I want to show you about this Christmas Around the World designer series paper that fascinates me and I think was very clever of Stampin' Up! To do. This design of paper that is in the pack, like I think when I looked at that paper I thought, oh, that's a bit random, but it's not random at all. It actually matches with the lamppost framelits. So let me get the framelits for you. Here they are. And you'll see there's all different designs on there. There's like a wreath, a bow, all that stuff. So I am actually going to use this framelit and it will cut out the wreath. Ta-da! Okay, I found that very exciting. So there's no need for fussy cutting. And the best part is, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little arrow. That's the top. So this is the top of the paper. And that way you don't have to worry about kind of lining the wreath up and everything. It fits right there. That was very exciting to me. And at the same time, we'll cut out the present. So may as well just make it one roll. So that framelit is also included in those lamppost framelits. Okay, but sometimes we have a positive negative thing going on. Don't know whether we can get it. We might have to do it after with our magnetic plate. Hang on. Let's see whether we can get this here. And then we will roll it through. Oh, that's even worse. Okay, let's just do our wreath first, and then we'll do our present after. Okay, and then see they have a bow here too. There's actually a bow framelit if I wanted the bow, which I don't for this project, but hey, who wouldn't want a pretty bow on perhaps another project? You could just sit and cut out all these wreaths and use them for all different kinds of projects. So we've got our wreath here. Look at that. Beautifully cut out. And then let's do the present. Oh, sorry, let's do the present. I'm suddenly realizing I had cut out one ahead of time, so you didn't have to watch me cut out two, but I don't know where I put it. You can't see my craft room right now, but I won't say it's the neatest craft room in the world. So sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. I don't know if that ever happens to you. Maybe it only happens to me. Okay, so we've got our present, our wreath. I know I had cut out another present here so that we can get it going. Maybe it will show up later. Okay, so let's keep going and maybe our other present will show up. Okay, so we've got our base, we've got our layer. Let's move our big shot now. Okay, so I'm just going to use some snail to adhere it. Before I do, I'm going to stick a piece of our gold 1/8 inch ribbon because I always feel like a little bling never hurts. I don't even think you can have too much bling. Is there such a thing as too much bling? I don't know. But I feel like Christmas cards definitely need some shine to them. So I'll put this around here, use some of my snail adhesive to adhere that down. Okay. There we go, buddy. Okay. And stick that onto the base. Okay. Great. Fun. Okay, and so then I will take some of the DSP and we will cut it at, can you see that there? I'm going to cut it at 2.5 square. So this DSP actually, I love to just stick with the same DSP in a pack when I'm working on a card because then you know everything matches. So we've got a 2.5 inch square, and then I will use the Old Olive, which is also, can you see it's the same color green there? So we'll go with 2 3/4 just to give that 1/4 inch of a mat around it. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. Can you see how it's coming together? There we go. We can even pop it up with some dimensionals. So we've got just our larger regular size dimensionals. Maybe put one at the top and one at the bottom. I like adding just a little bit of dimension. Makes the card seem fancier, I think. There we go. Sadly, I can't find our other presents, so maybe we'll just do the wreath. That's okay too. Now, like I said, I like to add a little dimension, but these are kind of small little things. So we have our mini dimensionals. Can you see how tiny they are? So they are perfect for the back of this tiny little wreath. And it'll just give it some dimension without having it be too big, so I don't need to trim our regular dimensionals. I love these little mini dimensionals. They're so cute. I don't use them a ton, but when you need them, you need them. Okay, so let's, you know what, since I feel awkward putting just one present. Here's the finished one, but I can't find my other present. So we're just gonna do the wreath, and I will use this thin real red ribbon that's in the holiday catalog. I don't think we've ever had a ribbon quite like this. It's kind of silky, it's got a shine to it, and I'm just gonna tie a quick bow here, and that'll be the bow for my wreath. So what I do is I just kind of, I'm going to make it a mini bow. So I'm going to just pull these little tails out, snip the ends, and we've got our little bow That's cute too. Maybe it's actually less fussy to have the presents. But I thought it was cool that the framelits match the presents too. Okay, so using my glue dots makes it really easy to stick that on there. And then we'll just put a tiny sentiment at the bottom. We are going to, I don't know if you end up with these little strips, but I end up with these little strips all the time from cutting paper. So I just save them and they end up being perfect for little sentiments. I'm using the word Merry Christmas that comes from the Merry Pattern stamp set. And you may be looking in the holiday catalog and you can't find the Merry Pattern stamp set, but that's because it's an exclusive stamp set just for anybody that places orders over $3.75 or more. And if you can't put in an order of $3.75 yourself to get that stamp set free in October, you just gather a few friends and you go in together and then you get the free Merry Patterns stamp set. Okay, so there you go. I should run and show you the stamp set. Ta-da! I love the font on it. Here, I'll put it a little closer so you can see the font. And then again, we'll pop it up with a dimensional here at the back. And then this would be a cute Christmas card, right? And now that the paper is on sale, buy 3, get 1 free, there's no excuse to not do a whole bunch of Christmas cards this season. But it's not just Christmas paper that's on sale. There's other designer series paper from the annual catalog as well. I'm going to put these black rhinestone jewels just to dress it up a bit because it's funny, they put these black rhinestones in the catalog in the Halloween section, I think, but I do not think we are limited to Halloween for those black rhinestones. Okay, so there you go. That is a fun way to use the Christmas Around the World Designer Series paper. And I absolutely had to show you how the framelits cut out the images in that paper perfectly. Here's another sample that we actually did at my recent stamp camp using that same Designer Series paper. So there's all different ways to use Designer Series paper in your projects. So make sure to take advantage of the buy 3, get 1 free Designer Series paper sale that's on until the end of October. You can head to my online store. Just go to genevieve.stampinup.net and click the Shop Now button and you can see everything that's on sale. There's lots of things in the clearance rack too. So, and there should be a link in my YouTube description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.